Hey guys, so today we are out here working in Dylan's tiny house, and unfortunately we've had some issues. We found it out in my tiny house, and so we fixed it last weekend, and so today we are going to show you exactly what issues we've had and exactly how we're fixing it in Dylan's shed.
I'm not finding any moisture in mine.
Of
course, I haven't cooked, I haven't bathed, I haven't done anything in mine yet.
So what the deal is as you know, we moved into my tiny house, over the Christmas holiday, and a week or so after that, we discovered there was some moisture buildup in my ceiling. And I kind of halfway suspected that that might happen, because I had been doing a ton of research, and there's a lot of information out there about how people are venting their shed house conversions because a lot of people are having moisture issues. Okay, well, I researched, and there's just like an insane amount of information out there, and trying to sort through it and figure out what was best for us in our climate was really, really hard. And so we had talked to somebody locally who knew of somebody that had converted a shed into a house, and we asked them if they had problems, and he said they didn't have any problems that they knew of, and he personally wouldn't worry about it too much because we have a drier climate, kind of, I guess. I mean, it can be humid sometimes, but for the most part, it's not. And so we just decided to go ahead and slap the insulation up there on the roof or the ceiling, and next thing you know, I'm having dripping off the peak, and the areas right up there were wet, and it wasn't good. Luckily, we caught it in time, so there was no mold that developed or anything like that. And we got mine fixed last weekend, and it's been a week. We've had some really cold temperatures. I've made soup, we've taken baths, all that sort of stuff, and I'm happy to say that my ceiling is staying dry. So I think we solved the problem. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is cut the tar paper out of the peak of the shed, so that way it will allow the airflow through the ridge vent. Now, not all sheds are alike, so you will have to do this according to how your shed was built. These sheds have metal roofing with ridge vents on them. Okay, so the second thing we did is we stapled netting across the hole to keep the bugs and insects and bugs were the same thing, but keep them all out. So the next thing that we are going to do is put in these baffles, and they are styrofoam, basically
Egg cartons.
Egg cartons, yeah. And so on the first part of the roof right there, we need to put a shorter one, and then on this part up here, a full piece will fit. So now Dylan is going to cut part of it off.
I know where to cut because we've already done like a million of them at my mom's house. I know how long it is.
Yeah. And so basically you just fit them in there like that. And you staple them up. Okay, so now since he's got the baffles in, it is now time for him to put the insulation back and secure it in place. So in order for the baffles to work, you actually have to have vents in the eaves, and then you have to have the ridge vent across the top. Well, as you can see, these sheds don't have big enough eaves to put in any vents. So we pondered what to do, and we discovered that as we got the baffles and the insulation on, that you see each place where the siding has a little indentation, we discovered that that hole went all the way through. So after we recorded this video, we did some more investigating, and we came to find that we think the flow of air comes more from the little crack between the eave and the sheathing than it does from those holes. And so when we covered up the baffles with insulation, we discovered enough space for airflow to flow up and out. I've been monitoring it for a week with my house, and so far everything has stayed dry, and every time I stick my hand up in the peak, I can feel a good airflow. Now, if we find that it is not enough, then we will probably take a drill and drill holes ever so often to add some extra airflow into it. And if we do that, we will cover it with screen to prevent bugs from coming in. Okay, so Brooke and I are currently up here in the loft, and we are getting all of the baffles installed up here. It's lovely fun work, isn't it, Brooke?
Yes, I just absolutely love it.
The nice thing about this whole deal is that when we get started on bricks, we'll know that we need to put the baffles in first.
Yes.
And then the insulation, so Brooke's shed will be a whole lot easier. So anyway, I'm so glad that we actually caught this before we went ahead and put ceiling cover on and all of that, because that would be a mess if we had to take all of it down. I guess there's always something to learn, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
So anyway, I guess we will go for now, and we will finish up getting this baffles and insulation done. Thanks for watching.
See ya.